What is up, guys? Happy Sunday. I hope you all are having a wonderful week. This video is going to come out on Monday, but it's Sunday now, so happy Sunday. This is going to be a different style video. It's going to be more educational. But this is something that is really important to me that I was pretty excited to share with you guys, because this is kind of what helped me change my life, helped me improve my life beyond what I thought was possible. Yeah, in my personal life, in my professional life, just in my everyday life, going to the gym, being an entrepreneur, building a business, this sort of mindset and this idea and the way what I'm about to show you is what changed my life and what helped me become the person I am today, and the habits that I still implement in my life all the time to constantly improve, constantly get better. And I feel like it's really worth sharing because there's a lot of people out there that I talk to that are struggling with the things that I used to struggle with. And if they understood this idea better, 6 months from now can completely change your life. So we're going to jump into it right now. And this video is about the power of self-monitoring. It might be a little laggy, the video and the audio, the visual and the audio. I have a really shitty computer, so I'm sorry about that in advance. All right, so let's jump right into it. This is a presentation that I made for you guys on self-monitoring. There's a couple different things in here that we're going to go over. We're going to go over self-monitoring, some cognitive strategies that I used to improve my life. And yeah, I just want to talk about this. Like I said in the intro, this is something that really just helped me bring my life to the next level. And that's what I help guys do now. So I wanted to show you an amazing way to do it. So the power of self-monitoring. You can't prove what you don't track, right? Most people say that they want to change, they want to build muscle, they want to perform better, they want to become more disciplined. They don't measure anything. They don't track their behaviors. And intentions are not performance, okay? You can say that you're going to do something all you want. You can say that you're going to start on Monday. You can say and keep lying to yourself that you're going to do these things, but nothing's actually going to happen until you start performing, start taking action, okay? Motivation is not execution. Motivation fades. You got to show up when it's hard, and you got to build discipline. And this is an amazing way to do that. If you're not paying attention to your actions, you're not going to be able to influence your results. Okay. There's a really great book called Atomic Habits. If you have not read it and you're looking to, bring your life to the next level, transform your life, you're tired of being stuck, whatever it is, read that book. That's an amazing book. It really kind of helps you visualize what it takes to build a better life, right? Self-monitoring defined, okay? Self-monitoring is the process. Sorry, I can't talk very well. I've been sick for the past few days, so if I sound nasally and whatnot, sorry. But self-monitoring, it's a hard word to say, I guess, is the process of consciously tracking your behaviors, habits, and performance. Not guessing, not assuming, but measuring, okay? Awareness comes before change. So what does this mean? You have to be aware of, where you're falling behind, what habits are holding you back. Yeah, awareness comes before change, okay? Track your behaviors. Record what you actually do, not what you intend to do, okay? I do this by journaling pretty much every single day. And I don't, talk, it's not, a daily diary that I write down everything I did, but when I was first getting started, I would have like a habit tracker. I would have non-negotiables that I would do every single day. And now they've stuck with me. Like, for example, one of them is making my bed. You can see my bed back there. I make it every morning, right? I get up every morning at pretty much the same time. I have the same routine. Drink my electrolytes, drink my caffeine, go outside. Daily non-negotiables, you have to have them in order to perform. Okay, measuring performance. Quantify your progress with real data points. What really helped me do this was tracking my workouts. I don't track calories. I used to do that back in college, and it kind of gave me an eating disorder almost. Like I was way too worried about what I was eating every single day. So I stopped. Now I'm fine. And we don't typically make our clients do that unless we think that it's really necessary, right? But measuring performance is extremely important. In the app that we use called Train Heroic that kind of tracks your lifts and how much weight you're lifting and all that sort of stuff, that's what we use to measure performance. And then also if you're somebody who's focused on, endurance sports, running, cycling, whatever it is, tracking that sort of stuff is extremely important. That's why I have I don't have my watch on. That's what I have my Garmin for. It kind of does all that for me, as well as Strava. So yeah, you really being able to see your progress is extremely motivating too. See that maybe you're trying to lose weight. See that if you track your weight, not daily, but at least weekly, see that the pounds are falling off. It feels great. Or you see your lifts increasing. It feels great. Like that's the type of stuff that's going to give you discipline over motivation, right? It's going to motivate you, but it's going to keep you disciplined because you don't want to see those pounds go back up on the scale. You don't want to see your lifts going back down, right? And then creating awareness, okay? Shine a light on patterns that you might otherwise miss. So recognize where in your life you're falling short, okay? Recognize what habits you have that are holding you back. An example would be one thing that was holding me back, especially fresh out of college when my physique was like trash, was that I was still in this mindset that, I'm a college kid. I was in a fraternity in college. I partied a lot. I drank a lot. I had fun, right? But those habits followed me after college, and I kept, even though I had a job, I was drinking. I'd come home from work and I'd have a beer or two. I'd go out on the weekends and I'd get drunk, right? Those are the type of things that you need to be aware of that are going to hold you back. Okay. Yeah, it's fun to do it every once in a while. I still do it every once in a while, right? But I limit myself. I don't drink on the weekdays for the most part, unless it's a special occasion. And I don't go out every weekend. Okay. I try to limit it and use it as a reason to celebrate instead of just a reason to reward myself for a week of hard work. It's just going to keep holding you back. Relying on feelings instead of data. I think I trained hard. I think I'm eating well. I think I'm productive. These vague assessments are going to keep you trapped in a cycle of self-deception. Okay. You're lying to yourself. If you say, I think I trained hard, you're going to know if you trained hard, right? I think I ate well. Well, did you? Or did you have a couple cheat meals? Did you go out and get drunk this weekend even though you said you weren't going to? I think I was productive. Were you? Or did you spend 4 hours a day on your phone? What other things could you be doing that are going to get you ahead instead of holding you behind? If you have to say, I think that I did something, you're probably lying to yourself, because for me, I know when I'm productive. Like right now, it's a fucking Sunday. I went on a bike ride this morning. I'm making this YouTube video to better my business and better myself and help my clients, right? I know that I'm being productive. I know instead of I think. The numbers don't lie, right? Most people avoid the numbers because they remove excuses. When you measure your actions, you eliminate the gray area between what you believe you did and what you actually did. Data forces honesty, and honesty creates change. You can lie to me, you can lie to Johnny, but you can't lie to yourself. All right. You can keep coping. You can keep making yourself feel better. But eventually, 6 months from now, if you're not taking the right steps, you're not going to be where you want to be. And that's going to show up. Okay. We've had clients that have signed up with us and they just fucking slacked off. I told them one day, I'm like, dude, you've been with us for 4 months now and you're fucking up. I maybe said it a little nicer, but that's what I wanted to say. And I'm like, think about it like this, okay? When you first started with us, if you started doing everything that we told you to do and just sticking to it, regardless of how you feel, imagine where you would be now. And I don't know, that flipped a switch in him, right? I don't know, not everybody thinks like that, okay? And that's completely fine, but recognizing where you're falling behind and recognizing the true long-term effects that this is going to have on your life, like, it's a game changer, okay? You have to show up, you have to be honest with yourself, and you have to take action. I didn't really rehearse for this, so I'm kind of just freeballing it here, so whatever, do my best. Onwards. For example, another gym example. All right. You can't expect muscle growth if you skip the fundamentals. Building strength requires consistency, progressive challenge, and measurable effort. You're not going to see growth if you're skipping workouts. If you don't track your lifts, you're not going to ensure that you're progressively overloading. That's why we track our lifts. We have you in the app. You have to put down how much weight you used, right? If that weight isn't increasing, you're not going to get real results. Okay. Next point, don't progressively overload. Your muscles adapt only when they're challenged beyond their current capacity. So if you're doing the same weight for bench press every week, if you're doing the same weight on any lift every week, you're going to plateau and you're going to get stuck and you're going to get frustrated. Okay. And then you're going to think, then you're going to blame us probably. But I promise you, listen to me, listen to Johnny. He's the fucking smart one. All right. He knows what he's doing. Listen to him. Eat inconsistently. Okay. Nutrition fuels recovery and growth. This is huge. All right. Nutrition and recovery are going to be the biggest points. You can go to the gym all you want, but if you don't eat properly and you don't recover properly, you're just fucking it up. All right. Can't expect gains without measurable input. Okay. Every rep, every set, and every meal is going to tell the story of your progress. Performance example. All right. High performers measure what matter. You can't expect to perform at a higher level if you neglect the fundamentals of smart training and recovery. If you don't train properly with structured, purposeful sessions, you don't track volume or intensity to understand your load, you don't evaluate recovery to prevent burnout or injury, you don't review your weekly effort to identify patterns. Elite athletes don't guess, they gather evidence. Elite bodybuilders don't guess, they work with a coach, they gather evidence, they know what they're doing every single week. And they're going to analyze it and they're going to adjust their approach based on what the numbers say. All right, that's what me and Johnny do. Like I said, he's the smart one. But this is what I do. This is what I did to help me get to where I am. I started tracking this stuff. I started working with a coach. I started using the app that we use with our clients. And it all ties in and it's all going to be a major role in your success. Accountability. All right. You have to hold yourself accountable. Every week you have to sit down and ask yourself these 4 critical questions. All right. What did I actually do? Did you do everything that you were supposed to? Did you do everything that you know you're supposed to do? Did you slack off? Did you miss workouts? Did you skip meals? What helped your goals? All right. What behaviors moved you closer to your target? What behaviors moved the needle? What behaviors brought it back the other way? It's the next point, right? Obstacles, self-sabotaging. It's a hard habit to break. Self-sabotaging is really hard to get out of your own head. And you kind of just have to fucking do it, dude. Like, it's hard, really. But pick your heart, Would you rather be fat and lazy and be the same person a year, 6 months from now? Or would you rather figure out what's holding you back and really put that in front of you and recognize it? Because that's also hard. But you're going to be glad that you did it. You're going to be glad that you did it, And recognize what needs to change. One specific adjustment for the week ahead. If there's just one thing that you don't do next week, for example, go a week without drinking alcohol or a week without smoking weed. If that's your vice, whatever your vice is, go a week without it. It's going to suck. And then go 2 weeks without it. And then start using it as like a reward system. Maybe that's what I started doing. That's what really helped me. Then it just feels so much better, when you're doing something and you say that you need to stop, but you do it anyways, that feels like shit. But when you actually stop doing that thing and only do it on occasion after you earned it, it feels a lot better because you're like, okay, now this isn't a problem for me anymore. It's more of just a celebratory thing. Remove self-deception. Tracking eliminates the ability to lie to yourself. The data reveals the truth without negotiation. You either did the work or you didn't. You either trained consistently or you didn't. All right. There's not really any argument against that. You either do it or you don't. When you write it down, there's no room for interpretation. The blank spaces in your training log speak louder than any excuse. The numbers don't care about your intentions. They only reflect your actions. Self-deception is comfortable. It protects your ego, but it also keeps you exactly where you are. Tracking stuff forces you to confront reality, and reality is where the transformation begins. Okay? This is huge. You have to get uncomfortable. The longer you stay comfortable, the more complacent you're going to be, and the more you're going to hate yourself at the end of the day. I mean, it's that fucking simple, dude. So, how to practice self-monitoring? You don't need complex systems or expensive technology. You just need simple methods that give you feedback. Okay? Track your workouts. When you start working with us at Adnet Performance, we give you the tools to do this. Log your body weight. I mean, you can do this on your own, right? You got a scale. If not, they're like $20 at Target or Walmart or wherever. Weigh yourself at the same time each day. Your weight is going to be different in the morning versus at night, right? And you don't have to do it every day. If it's something you care about, then do it. I stopped weighing myself because I don't really care that much. As long as I look good with my shirt off, that's all that matters to me. But it's taken me a long time to get here, right? Take progress pictures. This is huge. I still do this. Okay. Being able to see visually how much your body has changed is huge. Track your habits. Some things have habit trackers, like with Whoop, or my Garmin has habit trackers. You can just create a checklist. There's apps out there that you can use, journaling. I mean, everything. You can do this pretty easily. Review your week. Dedicate time every Sunday to analyze what worked and what didn't. Simple systems create clarity. Start with one tracking method and build from there. Consistency matters more than complexity. Okay. If you try to go all in at once on something new that you've never done before, you're going to get overwhelmed. You're going to get confused. You're going to get frustrated. Okay. Small daily habits are going to compound into bigger effects, right? So start small. And once you start working, if you start working with us, become one of our clients, we help you do all of this. It's a lot easier when somebody's helping you. Ask me how I know. Accountability accelerates growth. All right. Self-monitoring is powerful, but external accountability can take it to a whole another level. Having somebody watching, a coach, a mentor, a training partner, a accountability group, a friend, girlfriend, whatever it is. Share your goals. Tell people what you're working for. Report your progress. Send weekly updates and accept feedback. Not everybody that gives you constructive criticism is trying to bring you down. Not everybody that says mean things to you is trying to bring you down. Sometimes you need to hear it. It's just going to increase discipline. That's what working with a coach brought me. Is this accountability and this discipline, because I was afraid to fucking slack off and show up at, weekly check-in meetings and know that I'm slacking off, and they're going to see you and they're going to fucking call you out for it, right? That's what we're going to do. So accountability matters. Why progress builds confidence. Okay. Confidence is not built through hype or motivational speeches. It's built through evidence, right? Confidence is evidence repeated over and over and over again. Real measurable evidence that you're capable of change. When you see measurable improvement, the weight go up, the body fat percentage drops, your body weight goes down, the habit streak extends, you begin to trust yourself, right? The data proves that your efforts mattered, and it just becomes proof of your commitment. Shows you that you can keep a promise to yourself, and that really feels good. Okay, for somebody who is just slacking off and constantly saying they're going to start and then falling off, and it just gets in this negative feedback loop where you're just fucking slacking off. You say you're going to do something, you start, you don't complete it, you don't follow through, and the habit just restarts itself. And it sucks. You probably hate yourself. You're probably pissed off, probably depressed. You're probably anxious. I mean, fuck, dude, I've been there. Trust me. It sucks. But self-trust is the foundation of confidence, okay? Every time you follow through on what you said that you would do, you reinforce this new identity as somebody who delivers. I call it being a doer, okay? Are you a doer or are you a don'ter? It's like my favorite term. You have to be a doer. Cognitive strategies, all right? Tracking your physical actions is essential, but your mental approach matters just as much. Your thoughts influence your behaviors. Your behavior determines your results, okay? These 4 things are huge. Huge. Okay. They're going to help you trick your brain and rewire your brain into doing new things, into doing hard things, and get you out of that old mindset. And it's an identity shift, like I was talking about. You have to shift your identity. Positive self-talk, positive affirmations, replacing these limited narratives that you have in your head to growth-oriented language that reinforces progress. Okay. These limited narratives, these negative thoughts that you have, they're called head trash. Okay. Everybody has them. I still have them. but all they're doing is holding you back and it's imaginary. Okay, practice positive self-talk. Look at yourself in the fucking mirror and say something positive if you have to. Personally, I do it a lot when I'm journaling. I write positive things down when I'm journaling. When I'm practicing prayer, I say positive things and I practice gratitude. That kind of ties into this. It's just practicing gratitude and recognizing what in your life is good, what about you is good, and just fucking remembering that you're him. That's what it is at the end of the day. Imagery and visualization. Okay, mentally rehearse success before stepping into the gym or onto the field. Just visualize, dude. I mean, visualize yourself living your dream life, visualizing yourself having your dream body, visualizing yourself hitting those goal weight on your lifts or hitting that goal number on the scale. You know, it's gonna help because then you're like, you can feel how they feel and you're like, fuck, I want that. And then eventually you're going to get there and you're going to feel like that. Meditation is a habit that I started doing that really helped me kind of affirm these first two things, positive self-talk and visualization, right? Recognizing the power that your thoughts have over you and also the power that they don't have over you, right? Thoughts are very powerful, but only if you let them be. So try meditating. Psyching yourself up. Generate energy and intensity through pre-performance rituals and mindset work. You know, listening to good music, not listening to sad music. I like to listen to house music. That shit gets me fired up. It makes me feel happy. Stop listening to sad music. You know, just psych yourself up. I don't know what else to tell you. Stop being a pussy, I guess. And show up with intent, okay? Approach every training session with clear focus and deliberate effort. If you show up consistently and you put in max effort, you're going to get max results, okay? I like to say, you know, a bad workout is better than no workout. However, you know, if you're consistently having bad workouts, then something needs to change, whether it's your mindset or your workouts, you know, something needs to change. But you should be showing up. You should want to do these things. And it's going to be hard, but I mean, the way that I started wanting to do things is just seeing the results, seeing how good I feel all the time, seeing how good I look all the time. I mean, I don't want to lose that, right? So you're going to show up because that's the shit that you want. Positive self-talk. All right. We're going to go through all those 4 habits real quick. Fixed mindset. I'm bad at this. I can't do this. I'll never improve. Negative. Head trash. Get it out. Growth mindset. I'm improving. I'm learning how to do this. I'm getting better every week. Okay. Small wins matter. The words that you use to describe yourself matter. Language shapes identity. Identity shapes behavior. When you shift from I'm bad at this to I'm improving at this, you open the door to possibility. Like I said, that's head trash. Okay. Switch your mindset. Switch your mentality. Don't just track your workouts, but also your self-talk. You know, when you notice yourself defaulting to negative language, consciously replace it with language that acknowledges effort and progress. It's hard. You know, I do this a lot, dude. Even when I don't mean it, you still have to, excuse me, sorry. Even when you don't mean it, you still say it because it still matters. I have bad days. I have days where I feel like shit. I have days where I don't want to do it. You know, I have days where I talk to myself positively and I don't necessarily mean it, but it's still better than talking to yourself negatively. It's about your frequency, right? You got to turn up that frequency. Imagery, all right? Mental rehearsal and success. This one's kind of hard. I'm going to be honest with you guys. You know, I'm still not always the best at it, but like I said, meditation helps a lot. Visualization is not wishful thinking. It's a performance enhancement tool used by elite athletes across every sport. Before you step into the gym or onto the competition floor, mentally rehearse what you're about to do. See the reps. Visualize yourself executing each movement with perfect form. Feel the effort. Okay, imagine the burn in your muscles, the challenge in your final rep. That mind-muscle connection really does matter. And achieve the goal. Picture yourself completing the session successfully. Top-level athletes do this stuff all the time. Okay, and I'm not saying you have to be a top-level athlete, but clearly there's something there, right? They know what they're doing. Your brain really can't tell between real life experiences and imagined ones. It really can't, believe it or not. So this is going to help a lot. Give it a shot. It feels weird. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes it feels like a little stupid, but I mean, nobody knows you're doing it, so it only feels stupid to yourself. So get over yourself. It's just your ego. Each action is a vote. Okay. Every decision you make is a vote for the type of person that you want to become. Every workout, every habit, every disciplined decision, each one is going to matter. You don't become disciplined by just saying, I'm disciplined, right? You become disciplined by accumulating votes for discipline. You miss a workout, that's a vote for somebody who skips training. Complete it anyway, that's a vote for somebody who follows through. They're a doer. The beauty of this framework is that no single vote defines you. You're not looking for perfection, you're looking for a majority. Track your votes, make sure most of them align with the person that you want to be. Pretty straightforward. Be a doer. That's what this slide should have said. Just be a doer. I want to leave you with this final message, okay? You cannot influence your intentions if you don't monitor your performance. The audio and the visual is kind of cutting out again, it looks like, so sorry. Track your habits, track your progress, track your effort. Stop guessing, start measuring. The gap between where you are and where you want to be closes when you shine a light on your actual behavior, okay? This is what we do at Atnet Performance. Working with a coach changed my life. It changed my business. It changed my physique. It changed everything. Okay, you can do these things on your own, and I highly recommend at least starting. But sometimes you can only go so far, and you have to realize when it's okay to ask for help. I've always had my whole life a hard time asking for help. I'm very hard-headed. I like to do things my way. I like to do things Max's way. And once I kind of shifted my mindset and got that out of my head and started having some humility and asking for help, fuck, dude. That's when shit started to change. So, yeah, your ego is holding you back, and that's okay. But you can fix that. All right. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I hope you learned something. This stuff can change your life. I'm not perfect, but I am a hell of a lot better than I used to be. And, that's part of the reason why is because I started doing these habits and tracking stuff and working with a coach. And like I said, if you want to work with me and my brother, check out the linked video down below. My Calendly is linked down below. If you want to schedule a meeting with us, follow me on Instagram, follow Johnny on Instagram, check us out. But I'd love to help you guys. So it's okay to ask for help. Have a good rest of your night. Thanks for watching.